right.
Start.
All right.
Now.
All right.
Go.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Yeah. Well, walking to the club.
Take me to the yoke, I wanna see.
What's up, buds? Welcome to another episode of the Earbuds Podcast. This is a podcast where two good buds talk about one good album for a good amount of time. Today we got a good EP on the fucking chopping block.
Ooh.
This is a fresh drop. This is the latest. This is the greatest in albums, music, EPs. We're just touching it all. We've done a single before. There's nothing we won't do.
That's true. We have no...
Unless it's over like 40 minutes long.
We have no discipline or parameters on the show. We do whatever the fuck we want. And that's what makes it fun, Ash. So today we're going to be talking about, we want to kind of go back to the track-by-track thing and give that another shot, so it just fucking takes forever to do it, not going to lie. But we thought, hey, a fucking 12-minute EP, perfect.
Yep, completely unrelated to that trouble. We've picked an EP today by Little Dragon. I've heard this name around. I've heard Little Dragon features, but I don't think I've ever checked out their stuff.
You haven't listened to Little Dragon before?
I think I've heard one or two songs.
That Ants one on Plastic Beach.
Oh yeah, Empire Ants. Yeah,
oh, fucking amazing.
For sure. But there's like one Little Dragon song that I was like, ooh, I really like this, and then I checked out all their other stuff, and I was like, I don't know if I like any of this.
Yeah, I remember like being kind of annoyed with Little Dragon when I first heard them because I was working at PacSun at the time. So I had to hear. I think it was what was the fucking song? I think it was Another Lover or Where You Belong. One of those two that I just had to listen to 3 to 4 times an hour at PacSun, and I'm just like, dude, I can't do this. But I'm excited about this EP because I've liked a lot of other stuff that I've heard from them since, and like it's always kind of dancey, electronic, like great party tunes. And I'm excited for this one because our boy Jid is on it, and oh boy.
And we'll get to him soon enough, but today we're focusing on Lil Dragon and their little EP, Opening the Door, Baby.
We're going to do a track-by-track listen-along, and you'll get our reactions like right after we hear the song, and then at the end we'll talk about which one was our favorite song on the EP, and we'll get into what we would rate this EP. So, Ash, I'm ready to get started whenever you are.
Let's just get into it.
All right. Well, all right, man. Super duper chill,
just
dude.
Super chill.
I picked the right moment to take a fucking massive hit from my vape.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Groovy. It was a nice, like, walkable groove.
Yeah. It's very, like, you can just, like, snap along to it. Just slowly bob your head. I love the music on it too. Like it was like the best of 80s R&B and the best of 90s R&B just like kind of blended together.
Mishmashed together, yeah.
Because it had a little bit of that cheesiness to it that I used to think like 80s R&B was just so fucking cheesy. Just that really like pringy, springy fucking synth. Like
that was like
I loved it.
The most jack in bass ever.
Yeah, it was like it was the driest synth bass I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, right. Like a nearly minimal production.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing, there were a couple synths that came in. There was during Jid's verse, there was a really cool moment where like the music took a break and it sounded like this like ascending, descending, clanky synth, and that kind of transitioned into a big musical moment. I thought that was cool.
It's kind of cool too that they were going for the same trope that I've been hearing a lot in hip hop that I fucking love actually, where like the beat kind of changes halfway through a segment, like it's weird for the beat to change halfway through the bridge, but it's like that's kind of what they did here. And Jid had a great. I was thinking, I'm like, man, I wonder if he's gonna rap fast on this. And you reminded me that he sings too, and I was like, I thought it was really cool. He actually like had a singing moment, and then he rapped.
He did a bit of all of it.
Yeah, he did a bit of all of it, and it worked really, really well. Sometimes when you see like a rapper featured on like a dance track or an indie track or something, it doesn't always work. You know?
Yeah.
So I was a little worried.
I feel like we're a lot better about that. Like the 2000s and 2010s were all pretty rough
Bad.
with like rap features on stuff.
Bad. Yeah.
We've only finally just begun to like, oh, maybe you should go a little more like this.
Yeah. Or, you know, I kind of like that Jid kept his own style going, but he definitely, you know, this is the Little Dragon song, so he like did what it called, the Little Dragon song called for. I thought it was cool. Yeah,
Right.
Great opener, man.
For sure.
Great opener.
Yeah. Let's get to Frisco.
Let's get the Frisco. I think it's a single.
All right.
It has like 700,000 more plays than the other ones.
Jesus. All right.
Let's go.
The ending.
Yeah, dude.
What does that remind me of?
We both had to sing that part
It's
immediately
like
after it played.
Flight of the Conchords.
A little bit. Yeah, man. I'm loving this EP so far, man. Like what a
fucking
vibe, dude. What a vibe.
See, this is kind of more. We have a video coming out a long time from now, about Purple Noon.
Yeah.
Which was an album by
Washed Out.
the man Washed Out.
Yes.
And I couldn't handle it as much as I can handle this. I feel like this is I'm much more keen to this kind of. It might not be chill wave,
No.
you know, but it's so chill. It's got such a vibe. It's like R&B. It's like
Very.
a little. What'd you say? Like fusion hop or like
No, like some people call it dream pop.
trip hop.
Dream pop, trip hop, down tempo, also, which I just think is like a great way to describe that song and this album so far. It's just such a lounge, like dance record. It's a dance record to like sit down to
take his hand to. Yeah.
To Zan.
A dance record to sit to is a great. That's what my next record's fucking.
That's the name of it. Yeah, a dance record to sit to, and I think that's really what it is, because it's like really it's just meant. I feel like it's just meant to you like, listen to it alone. I think this is like meant to be an alone record.
It's a personal.
This is a
record.
personal, like just you just need to vibe for 13 minutes.
Yep.
You know, and that song was great, man. I loved. What was cool is that you've been calling it kind of minimalist, which it is, but then that song also had 5 or 6 different things happening at once with like the background vocals, that stuff, and
there's a lot of there are certainly a lot of tracks on both of these two songs.
Yeah.
But all the tracks are so quiet and just subtle.
It's very that song reminded me a lot of Tori Moa, who's been doing the same type of kind of stripped down, back to basics, like R&B pop music. This kind of feels like that's what it's just like we're gonna put the elements in it that you know it needs, and it's just keeping that groove going that whole time. And it's like I feel like the most that they did, other than adding those background vocals, is like they added a tambourine for the last minute, and they're like, okay.
Right. Yeah.
Like, we'll add a tambourine.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
That's enough.
You'll get your little jingle
reel
jangles.
it back a little bit.
Yeah, you'll get your twinklies, and that's it.
All right. Well, for this next song, Peace, do you know who Stefan Sandberg is?
No. If anyone who's watching or listening knows who it is, like, let us know, because there's literally not even there's like a Spotify page with 2 songs on it. So I have no idea who this person is.
Well, let's listen to it first. So let's see if we even care.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
This is such a great like intro credits to a movie song. Like as they're kind of showing everyone showing someone get their day started, you know, and like.
Sure. A little morning montage.
Yeah, a little morning montage
type deal. Or inversely, it could be like an action one. It shows all the characters doing their specialty, gunning someone down, like hacking the system, and it's just like.
Yeah, and it's just a super chill song while a bank robbery is happening.
I could see it.
I'm glad you can.
All right, man.
Wow.
Well, that was Opening the Door by Little Dragon. That was Peace. The last song on there. I was lulled.
I was yeah, dude. I was
Lulled.
rockabye by that, dude. That was fucking awesome. I loved that song. It was like world music, almost.
Yeah, it had a. We assume we pretty much know now. Stefan basically did like I assume all the acoustic instruments on that song.
All the awesome bells and marimbas and stuff. Going
Yeah,
on.
the little flute
flutes,
at
yeah.
the beginning.
Sounded like wood flutes or pan flutes or something. Really, really cool. It almost sounded like he was playing like a fucking wind chime at one point.
Yeah,
You know?
it almost seems like they kind of gave this dude an hour in the studio just to
And he came
see
up
what
with
he
a
came up with,
fucking
and then
groove, dude. He came up
singer
with a
came
groove.
in and was just like, "Ooh, ooh, I'm not even gonna sing any words because I
Yeah.
don't need them." Ooh, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Oh yeah. And the main vocalist, like her, I feel like we should know these people's names.
Nah,
I'm gonna go ahead and think that it's Yukumi Nagano, and her vocals are just so fucking beautiful and like you said, like enchanting, like lulling. They just this
Yeah.
bring this blanket of chill over me while we were listening to
Yeah.
that. And honestly, it did start out a little Sesame Street in the beginning, like we were saying. Like it kind of sounded like when everyone's popping out of corners and they're playing a fucking trash can. It felt a little bit like like someone starts like into like a bottle, like
yeah, yeah.
it was a little cheesy at first, but then man, it became really cinematic in my opinion. Like this kind of great, like we were saying, a montage sequence in a movie, like it'd be perfect for that. And loved all this. It's basically, the song sounded like to me if Paul Simon like smoked. I'm sure he did a lot of drugs, but it's like if he just smoked some fucking peyote and they just gave him a room full of like native instruments,
Just like have fun, bud.
He just picks up
We're just gonna hit record. You
bouzouki.
just do whatever.
Yeah, just like there's a marimba out there and he's just like doot, doot. He's like and then they're just like fucking press record, dude. Press record. I loved it.
I feel like I'm in a different state.
I am in
know?
a different state now after that song.
I'm just like,
yeah, and I felt like it was, we've been saying the EP's been pretty minimalist at this point, or up to this point, and I would still say weirdly enough the production is still minimalist, even though there's like a lot going on.
it's quiet. It's consistently quiet.
You were saying that's like the quietest kick drum that you've ever heard, but I gotta say that honestly, Nevermind probably had a quieter kick drum than this album. Oh, I called it a baby's heartbeat when we listened to Honestly Nevermind.
But it's like they tried to make the grooviest, quietest album of all time.
So good.
And you know what? I'm about it.
I'm
It was a
about it.
nice little jaunt. Lucas, I want to ask you this. If this is their preview for what their next record is going to be, are you excited for that?
Very.
Are you trying to get an entire record of this?
Absolutely. I could listen to 45 minutes of this, no fucking doubt.
I would need to be pretty tranked to like listen
Gotta be
to
conked.
40 minutes or an hour of this.
Oh, I could definitely do it, man. But you know me. Like, I like super chill music like this a lot, especially when I'm, getting stoned at the end of the day and just sitting on my couch with my girl and hanging out. Like, this is such a perfect, like I'm listening to Stay again. I'm like, Stay just sounds like a song meant to play in the background while you're, like, catching up with your boo at the end of the day. Like, Frisco felt like a little more of, a contemplative song a little bit. A little more, like, to yourself and kind of being in your own head a little bit and just having this, like, great, consistent, dreamy rhythm that's just kind of, like, keeping your brain juices going. And then Peace is, like, such a great ending to me. So I would love to hear more of this stuff, and I would love to hear like a song that combines all of these vibes and everything. And I would say, getting into like our choice nugs, I feel like what we're gonna do, we're gonna do something a little different. Usually we pick our two favorite songs, our two choice nugs, but since there's only 3 songs on this, we're gonna rank them in order of how much we enjoyed it. And and I'm gonna say for me, it's gonna go in the opposite track listing.
Really?
Yeah, it's Peace first. I just loved Peace. I thought it was such a fun groove, world music, something I didn't really expect to come, and Loved it. Absolutely loved that song. By far my favorite song on the record, obviously. And then it's going to be Frisco next. I loved the super minimalist, like 90s chill production to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just love it. I wish we had comparisons to make. Like, it's just very dry, and there's only so much going on just to fill little gaps, and that's it. Like, it's so minimalist in that way. And like you said, the production is minimalist too. And then Stay is still great. Jade had a fucking great feature, and I love the vibe, but it's just, you know, it's 3 good songs. I gotta put one last. I gotta stick one down at the end of the bench.
Well, you know, I mean, it's not like our third ranking means it's a bad song.
No, I think clearly we liked all the songs. Yeah,
We like all 3 songs in this EP.
yeah,
Mine's a little different. Mine's gonna be Stay is gonna be at the top. I like that kind of, not chip tune, but like kind of chippy walk and groove. I loved that dry ass synth bass.
yeah.
The vocals. After that is Peace. In second, it's a great outro track. A great track to lose yourself.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
And then Frisco is last for all the reasons that you said. I really liked the backup vocals on Frisco.
Yeah, Frisco is great. Frisco did layer on itself really nicely, and it did get like loud for a second, quote unquote. Probably loudest moment on the record is the end of Frisco. But it's not much.
So,
and it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me that Frisco is like your quote unquote least favorite either, because if there's anything I've learned about you in the last almost 2 years of doing this podcast, is you hate a lot of like minimalist, chill, doesn't go anywhere music. And and that's Frisco
usually
for the most part.
That's what I'm assuming the new Mars Volta record's gonna be. It's gonna be
I'm excited.
pretty chill. Doesn't really go anywhere.
Right.
Like, not a lot of movement.
You know what's funny is that they're saying it's like a clean slate. Maybe that is what it's gonna be.
That's my worst nightmare.
I know. But before we listen to it, but before we listen to Mars Volta, what are you gonna rate this EP, man? This 3-song EP. Kind of came out of nowhere for us with Little Dragon. We're not big fans. We're not huge Dragonites going into this, you know. So it's like a very unbiased opinion.
Yeah, I had listened to a minimal amount of their stuff before. I'm gonna say this one
More minimal than the production.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
That's a hard bar to go.
Yeah, you can't.
Below.
That's gonna be hard to limbo under.
You can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 6.8 with this one because it's. I mean,
that's so low. That's for what I thought you were gonna give it.
I like. It's a great chill EP.
You were singing praises. You were fucking flinging praises left and right.
I know, but like, it's tough. This is only the 3rd time we've ever like talked about an EP before.
Right.
And it's like 3 songs. Like, what? How do you rank that?
Yeah, I know. We're just sticking with the format. Really, it's just we rate the albums that we listen to. So 6.8 is where you're gonna.
You know, if this EP, it's a lot shorter than an album. Go 1 to 5. My rating's gonna go 1 to 5.
Oh God
today.
Damn it! All right.
And for this rating, I'm gonna give this one
a 3.4.
A 3.4.
You fuck. I'm clearly gonna go higher than you because I think I clearly am higher than you because I loved this album.
That is usually the case.
That's usually the case. I really liked it, man. I also kind of knew what to expect, but didn't really know what fully to expect, and I fucking loved it. It was a great EP, a great 3 songs, super easy to listen to, fun to listen to, plenty of things to grab onto and kind of be like, you know, things to latch on and go, oh, I really like that, or I really like that, and that can kind of keep you into the song for the whole thing, basically, because it's going to keep repeating. So I'm giving this a hard 8 for
hard 8
for just these 3 songs. Like, if you put these 3 songs on an EP like Little Dragon did, I'm going to give those 3 songs an 8.
Good.
like if I decided to listen to that EP for a podcast and like had to rank it, and if I just for some reason thought about doing that one day,
right,
it would be a hard 8, a turgid 8.
So okay, so Lucas is an 8. I'm a 3.4.
Right.
Those are,
Out
of course,
5.
on different scales.
Yeah.
Um,
Figure it out. Do the math.
which I think that could be a fun thing whenever we bring guests on, is we have our own scales.
Oh, fuck.
We bring Michael on, like, yours is 1 out of 100 today.
It is starting to feel like the ratings are mattering less and less.
I don't
And
really get what
you're
you're talking
caring
about.
less and less about the ratings, that it's like we might as well get to that point where it's just like, just fucking give it 3 out of 5 ice cream cones or whatever, because that's how you're feeling today.
Thank you, everybody, for watching, for listening. We're on YouTube. We're on podcast streaming sites. We are on Instagram. That's where we're posting most of our stuff.
Yep.
That's where you're going to get updates.
All
That's
the
where you're going
news.
to get pictures.
Look us up, Instagram EBP Cast, in that order.
We're doing these fresh drops every week. We got these classic catches. We bring on an album we think is a fucking classic. We talk about it.
Yeah.
We're doing chit chats. We talk about music related topics.
Yep.
This next week, I think we talk about
Guilty pleasure songs, I think.
guilty pleasure songs.
Yeah, our top 5 guilty pleasure songs. That's good. That was a fun one.
That was a fun one.
And I've been listening to those songs like a lot since.
It's been interesting seeing the because we had 2 completely different lists.
Totally different lists. Yeah, completely different. Mine was way more mainstream than yours.
But, you know, if y'all want to check that out, it's all on this channel. It's all on the streaming sites, baby.
Yeah.
You don't got to go too far. All right, Lucas.
All right. What?
This was good.
This was good.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. I'm gonna do a mantra for someone else for them to go to sleep. For like them to meditate.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
That's a horrible
Bye.
mantra.
Bye. that's a terrifying mantra.
Bye.
That would
Bye.
give you like existential
Yeah.
horror.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Fuck off.